following the just concluded area council elections as well as the by-elections in Kano and Rivers State. We're joined by the National Publicity Secretary of the PDP National Caretaker Working Committee, and that's Jungudo Mohammed. He joins us virtually. Good day to you, sir. Many thanks for joining us. Also joining us is Professor Simeon Nnah, who is virtual as well. Gentlemen, a very good evening to the both of you. Let me start with you, Mr. Mohammed. I mean, the PDP celebrates its candidate in Gwagwalada, and that's Mohammed Kasim's win, as proof of strength. I do have to ask, how do you explain APC sweeping the other 5 FCT councils despite, similar voter access? Is it a proof of strength?
Well, first let me say Ramadan Karim to my fellow Muslim brothers, and equally extend fasting greetings of fasting period for my Christian colleagues as well. Yes, it is not surprising for the APC to have sweeping energy across the 6 or 5 area council in the just concluded elections. As you are aware that there are issues in the PDP at the moment, which is almost coming to an end. And you know that the APC had put in powerful governors, ministers, and the rest as members of their campaign council. And unfortunately for us in the PDP, we were unable to put a formidable campaign team. But despite that, we were able to clinch a considerable number of councillorship seats and then an area council in that's Gwagwalada. So this indeed is a proof to the fact that contrary to insinuations that PDP is dead, PDP is not dead. And you have seen that areas like Abuja and I think Abuja, it is just by whiskers that we couldn't clinch onto those area council seats. But I can assure you that in the future elections, once we get our house in order, once we carry out our conventions and deal with the internal legal issues, we will prove beyond reasonable doubt that we are indeed the formidable and viable opposition party in Nigeria today.
Right. Let me come to you, Professor Nnah, and just ask you as well. Is PDP truly indeed a formidable force for winning Gwagwalada? I mean, because the APC has now swept the other 5 FCT councils by wide margins, by the way. Doesn't this expose the PDP, for the PDP, that the FCT is somewhat, at this point, out of their grasp, even though even the minister himself, who is the minister of the FCT, seems to be playing for both sides of the court?
Well, the minister, like you know, is what people will say PDAPC. Now, winning Gwagwalada does not show any strength of PDP. I will tell you that with the benefit of hindsight. They were allowed to win Gwagwalada so that it could be said that the election is free and fair. We know what panned out when the council elections were held in Rivers State. I was in this same studio by 3 p.m. that day, and one of the representatives, one of the members of, I think, PDP, did say that it was only 2 local governments that the FCT minister allowed PDP to win. And as at that time, that he selected those 2 from PDP. And these were the 2 at the end of the day, because elections were still going on. But at the end of the day, you discover it was those 2 candidates only that were PDP candidates that won election that won that in that election. So I think it's something that is playing out. He just allowed this to happen so that people can say, after all, PDP won local government. The question somebody will ask is, where's ADC and where's Labour in all this? You have the gentleman in the vehicle that complained, because I am not on ground, but we monitored some of these things either from online newspapers or from the...
Seem to have lost Professor Nnah there due to network issues. Let me just quickly bring Mr. Mohammed. I mean, the PDP statement praises INEC and security for peaceful polls.
shown on social media, though unconfirmed reports, because as the days go by, we'll hear from the main media whether those mutilated results were actual or they were social media stuff. So having said that, I will say that if the 2027 election will go the way this one went yesterday, Nigeria is in trouble. I can tell you that for free, without any shadow of doubt.
Let's hold on to that there, right? Given by what we've seen, your assessment is that Nigeria is in trouble. PDP, how would you reply? I mean, giving the statements that you put out after this FCT Area Council elections, you praised INEC as well as the security agencies for a peaceful poll, but opposition reports cite low turnout as well as irregularities as well. Were there specific lapses for the PDP in terms of documented that undermines this praise that the presidency had, and also your statement as well?
You see, one must commend INEC because from what voters attested to, you could see that there were seamless accreditation and voting. So, and there were minimal complaints from voters. That indeed must attract commendation for INEC. And for the security agencies as well, the issues of ballot snatching, the crisis here and there, I think this election recorded very few cases, if at all there is any. So this indeed, one must commend INEC and indeed police and other security agencies. And for my elder brother who is spelling doom for the country, we reject that in PDP. Nigeria is not going to be in any trouble. All his evidences, even in court of law, are hearsay evidences, and hearsay evidences are inadmissible. Right. He said he was not on ground. He read from online and other things. So his admissions and his evidences and testimonies should be discounted as.
Okay,
but
the PDP has also instituted a committee for all of its candidates who had issues and recorded evidences so that they can take it up for their legal team.
Hold on, you must be very, very careful in dealing with impersonators. I read somewhere that PDP has instituted or constituted a legal team. Which PDP? Is it the PDP that is it the persons, the people that the court said they should stop parading themselves? We await when they go to the court. We are very sure the court will ask them, and INEC will equally ask them if they do actually have the locus to file any a petition against this election. For now, we as the PDP, we are happy with the outcome of this exercise because our major concern and concentration at the moment is rebuilding the party. We are very sure that at the end of rebuilding this party and reconciliation exercise that is ongoing, the PDP will eventually come and not only win one area council in the FCT, but PDP will eventually win more states and possibly even the seat of the 001 in the country. So those people parading themselves have been warned by the court, not only warned by the court, have been asked to desist from parading themselves.
Right. Okay.
Mr. Nnah is a lawyer. Mr. Nnah is a lawyer.
Right.
And he knows the implication of what he is doing.
Honorable Mohammed, I can't help but just hear from your tone, right, that, Gwagwalada is, and just winning at least one area council, and your tone of satisfaction with INEC, and it seems more complicit, or should I say placated, or is it a case of consolation, or a consolation prize of having Gwagwalada? Because if there are cases, because we also covered the election at full extent before, during, and after the elections, right? And what we saw and recorded live on television were cases of what seemed to be or appeared to be vote buying. We also saw low turnout. We saw polling units change last minute. People complain about not being able to access their polling units. There were some locations where voting had to stop because they had fracas and some scuffles going on. So, from your tone, are you saying that, the PDP is fine with this? You seem complicit.
No. The truth of the matter is, if you look at the position from where PDP went into this contest, definitely you must be happy with the outcome, because we were written off from this contest. People were expecting the likes of ADC to win a certain area councils. Look at how Atiku, Peter Obi, and the likes of them, Amechi, that went out to campaign. PDP didn't come out with their who is who to campaign, but we emerged victorious in Gwagwalada, and of course we won certain seats. So it is not also the role of INEC for them to make sure that people come out to vote. It is the responsibility of citizens to come out and exercise their civic right. And there is no election that is perfect. What is required is substantial compliance with the electoral rules, electoral act, and the conduct of the exercise. Even in developed countries, you have you will witness complaints of one or two issues.
Right.
So the one experience in the FCT is not an exception. It's not something that we will blame INEC or police or even a PDP or any political party. The citizens have to come out and exercise their civic right. For us, why we are happy with this result is because we came into this race from a very, very disadvantaged position. And we believe that if we give glory to God for this victory, God will give us more in subsequent elections.
All right. Let me bring in Professor Nnah. Professor Nnah, I mean, we've said from his praises, it's glowing, or should I say, a very, if there was a score by Honorable Mohammed, it would be A1 for INEC and the security agencies, despite the low turnout. And he says that, you know, Nigerians do have to play in that part. And the party's petition threat seems to be from another faction of the PDP. So, I mean, why the selective peace endorsement when APC sees the polls as a clean endorsement of their governance? Professor Nnah.
You see, I don't know where to start from. But let me start this way. From what the man on the other end is saying, you don't need a soothsayer to tell you where he's coming from. The elections in Abuja, we have things, there are several things you cannot think of. You know, we had reports of people going to polling units and not finding their names there, and finding their names in another polling unit, and they could not access that until the elections were over. We had reports of some polling units. We had results of some polling units and people voting in a particular polling booth and what have you. The turnout was abysmally low, not just low, abysmally low. And people accounted to that because there was restriction of movements. So the question is, those areas that people were not allowed to come out, why? These are the questions that need to be asked and answered. Now, I can tell you for free, you can go to the bank with it. The Gwagwalada that PDP won was a consolation, vote that was given to them. And let me prove that to you. He did say they came into this election from a disadvantaged position, which is known to everybody. So why are those with advantage position, why didn't they win any seats? These are the questions they need to answer. Because there were people that had advantage going into that election, and they lost out. Somebody that came in from a disadvantaged position now got a seat. No, there are devil in the details. That's the truth. So let them come out and tell us what happened. We don't want to begin to say this, because the days to come, some of the things they are saying today, they will swallow their words, because the truth will come out. And everybody will. I don't like calling a spade a farm implement. Please, let's call a spade a spade. If this is what election will look like in 2027, I repeat myself, there is trouble.
All right, gentlemen, I wish we could continue, but I've been giving the cue that we have to end this discussion. I must say thank you to the both of you. Let's see how it plays out. Honorable Mohammed, many thanks, and also to you, Professor Nnah. Thank you so much for joining us.